part of awakening is a discovery that you are not alone. You are waking up in a world that others are waking up in too, and this creates a very strange predicament. It's rather like what happens when a caterpillar begins to transform into a butterfly, because while still surrounded by caterpillars, the caterpillar remains a caterpillar. Now I want to talk about this, because it's something almost everyone who begins to wake up will encounter, and it can be one of the most isolating, confusing, and yes, dangerous experiences you will face. Not dangerous in the sense that you'll come to physical harm, though that has happened throughout history, but dangerous in the sense that you may lose everything that once gave you a sense of belonging, identity, and security. Let me begin by saying this. Growth is not comfortable. It never has been, and it never will be. When a lobster outgrows its shell, it must shed that shell and expose itself, soft and vulnerable, until it grows a new one. During that time, it is in grave danger. Every period of growth is marked by vulnerability. But if the lobster clings to the safety of what it knows, it cannot grow. It will remain confined, unable to realize its full potential. Human beings are much the same. We are very fond of our shells, our beliefs, our relationships, our roles, our understanding of the world. And when we begin to see through them, we become vulnerable. We lose the protection of the crowd, the comfort of consensus, the security of being like everyone else. And this vulnerability, this exposure, is what makes awakening so difficult. Now, awakening does not mean you become superior. It does not mean you are better than anyone else. This is a trap many people fall into, and it is a sign that they haven't really grown at all. They have simply traded one form of ego for another. Outgrowing others does not mean you are right and they are wrong. It means you have begun to see things they do not yet see. You are simply at a different point in the process. And here is the difficult part. You cannot unsee what you have seen. Once you begin to question the values everyone else takes for granted, you may find that you no longer fit into the structures that once supported you. Your work may feel hollow. Your relationships may feel strained. Your ambitions may no longer make sense. And people around you may react with confusion, discomfort, or even hostility. Not because you have done something wrong, but because your change reflects their own unexamined assumptions back at them. This is why awakening is often lonely. You are no longer fully asleep, but you are not yet fully awake in a way that allows you to move effortlessly through the world. You exist in between, and in this space, you may feel disoriented. You may feel anxious. You may feel as though you've lost your footing, but this is not a mistake. This is the process. You are shedding an old skin, and there is no guarantee the new one will form immediately. The temptation at this stage is to retreat, to go back to what was familiar, to readopt old beliefs, old identities, old roles, simply because they provided certainty. But that certainty was an illusion. Growth has always required risk. Every genuine transformation demands that you walk through a period of not knowing. And this is where courage comes in. Not the courage to fight, but the courage to remain open, to tolerate ambiguity, to live without a script for a while. If you can endure this phase, something remarkable happens. You begin to see that the structures you once depended on were never truly solid. They were agreements, shared stories, useful perhaps, but not ultimate. And as this realization deepens, you find a new kind of stability, not one based on conformity, but on understanding. You no longer need the approval of others. You no longer need to defend a rigid identity. You become more fluid, more responsive, more compassionate, not because you have escaped the world, but because you now see how it works. And when you understand the world, you are no longer compelled to be at war with it. You participate, but you are not trapped. You play the game, but you are not lost in it. This is the real cost of awakening. You may lose certainty. You may lose belonging. You may even lose people. But what you gain is freedom. Not the freedom to do whatever you like, but the freedom to be what you are. And that, ultimately, is worth everything. Awakening isn't loud. It's quiet and irreversible. Follow for more at Hempenology on SoundCloud.